I'm Stephanie Poetri, and you're watching my iHeartRadio Ask Anything chat. Thank you so much to Romeo and Most Requested Live for having me on to talk about my new song, Astrologically Illogical. So, Nadine from Dayton, Ohio asked, if you were Cinderella, what would you wear to the ball and how would you get there? I would wear, I've always wanted to wear like a very, like almost like Tiana type dress from Princess and the Frog, because I love the green color. And I would get there probably on a motorcycle because I'm cool. No, I'm just kidding, I don't know. Marilu from New York City asked, what triggered your mind to come up with the title Astrologically Illogical? So while writing it, as we got to the bridge, I just remembered being like, I want to yell like, you know, something that felt really exactly what the song is about. And I was just like, astrological, logical, astrology, logical. I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. So yeah, just basically was kind of like a random thing. Sheila from Jakarta, Indonesia asked, what's the backstory of Taurus, Gemini, and Sagittarius? But I love your new song. Thank you so much, Sheila. So I had to Google what my sun, moon, and rising was in terms of my astrology sign, and I put in my birthday, where I was born, what time, and it showed that I was a Taurus sun, a Gemini rising, and a Sagittarius moon. You guys should find yourself your sign too. Leah from Texas asked, what was your first experience with music? Was it natural or did you have lessons? It was natural, but in a different way than most people. It was because my parents were really into music. My mom was a singer and my dad was a music teacher, so growing up I just kind of always had it around me. So it naturally came to me in the sense that it was always around me. And but I got really into it after I graduated high school, and here we are. Amy from Cleveland, Ohio asked, what's your food guilty pleasure? I don't feel guilty about food. I mean, I think the one thing that I'm like, I want to have every day but I shouldn't, is like a seafood boil. It's like, I really like when they mix all the sauces, and there's one really close to my apartment too. But it's like, I love just like shrimp and crabs in the sauce and eating it with rice, but it has really high cholesterol and I already have issues with that, so that is my guilty pleasure. Perry from Kenosha asked, if you could be in any popular band, past or present, what band would you be in and why? I would love to be in Little Mix just because I've always been a fan, and then I don't know, like all the girls just look like really like cool and fun, and yeah, I don't know, I love the music and they're so talented, and I would always love to like do some harmonies with them and stuff. Erin from Berkeley asked, what's your most embarrassing childhood memory? I mean, I think we've all gone through this where like you're walking in a grocery store and then you think next to you is like your mom or your dad, and then you hold a random stranger's hand and they're like, that's definitely happened to me a couple times, but we don't talk about it. Sarah from Berlin, Germany asked, if you had 24 hours to show Indonesia to someone, what places would you choose? So definitely I'll do half the day in Bali and half the day in Jakarta. And in Bali, I think like Ubud is a really cool area, and then in Jakarta I think I would show like Monas, but also I want to take them around like where I grew up, which is like Tangerang. So maybe like the malls I went to, like BAM, and then like the breeds. Yeah. Tracy from Tampa asked, if you had a talk show, who would be your first guest? Good question. I think I want to have like maybe like a group of friends of mine. Maybe I'll invite like, I'll invite Lynn, Lapid, and Mad Sai, and MA, and then we would have like a conversation, the four of us, because we have dinner sometimes and it's always really funny. Erin from Michigan asks, what is the most American trend that you do not understand? I don't know. I mean, trend. Maybe, what is a trend anyways? Maybe like an American thing I don't understand is, well, okay, the America that I'm in, which is like California and stuff, they don't always have sweet iced tea in restaurants, which I think is weird, because, and then you know, if you go to Texas, they will have sweet iced tea, but I think it's weird that they don't have an option sometimes in California. It's always just unsweet iced tea, and then they're like, I'll give you sugar, and I'm like, no, but it won't dissolve, so it's not the same. Cynthia from Minneapolis asked, what inspired you to Astrologically Illogical? So basically I was just curious about what the compatibility was between me and my boyfriend, and then I found out that like astrologically we're incompatible, but like it makes no sense because I think we work really well together. So I just wanted to write a fun song about that. Nicole from Burbank asked, what's your favorite dessert? I really like ice cream. But oh no, I love, there's this thing in California, in where I live, where it's like coconut pudding with durian in it, and I really like it. It's called Mellow Mellow. You guys should try. Joanne from Burlington, Ontario asked, what was the first CD you ever bought? Probably like a One Direction CD. I don't remember. Or no, I probably downloaded it online. Maybe like Twice or Got7 or something. I like went to a bookstore and I just looked for some K-pop CDs, because K-pop CDs are cool. They also come with like a photo album. So Reek from Denmark asks, what's your favorite type of scented candles? I don't really use candles because I have 2 cats and I feel like that's dangerous. Leah from Houston asked, do you cook? I do, but not as well as my boyfriend. So he cooks more for me, and I like to bake. Hank from Hayward, California asked, if you had a chance to do a remake of a hit record from any time in the rock era, what would it be and why? Ooh, the rock era? I mean, I do love, what is it? Always, and I'll be there forevermore. I like that song. So maybe that one. Jill from Knoxville, Tennessee asks, what are your favorite old worn out clothes that you like wearing around the house? Are you a slippers girl? Yes, I wear a lot of slippers. Well, I basically use one until it's like broken. My favorite old worn out clothes is probably the shirt I have that's just like full of holes at this point, but like I'm at home, so who cares? Leah from Queens asked, favorite cartoon growing up? I really liked Danny Phantom. Kelly from Erie asked, do you think you'll ever get married? I think so. I mean, I think I've met my future husband already with Asher, but we're supposed to still young, and then we're just gonna do it when it makes sense, you know. Scotty from Albany asked, favorite memory from high school? Probably whenever it was like the last day of school, and then my whole grade would go to like a little like hole in the wall place, and just everybody would eat together and stuff. Sarah from Columbus asked, who is your role model? My mom. Patty from Toronto asked, how much physical memorabilia have you kept from your career in touring? What have you kept? Well, I'm still on my first ever tour, but there is, you know, I actually have it right here. It's this little like paper thing that the show in DC gave, and it's probably one of my favorite things I've ever received. So shout out, thank you. Samantha from Biloxi asked, if there was a Stephanie museum, what piece of memorabilia would you contribute? Maybe my first guitar that my dad got me. Gabby from Warwick asked, what's your favorite go-to drink? I love a good horchata latte. Jen from Buffalo asked, what is the last thing you do before you go on stage? Well, so far on this tour with Lynn Lapid, I high-five Tyler, who is Lynn's drummer, but he helps out a lot, so I give him a high five, and then the show starts. Beth from Yonkers asked, looking back, what fashion trend do you think you should have skipped? I think the like baggy everything fit. I definitely do not slay it as much as I thought I did. I just saw Billie Eilish do it and I was like, oh my god, I can pull this off. I couldn't. So yeah. But that's all. Thanks again for watching my Ask Anything chat. My new song is called Astrologically Illogical. Thank you so much to Romeo and Most Requested Live for having me on the show. And thank you for letting me answer your questions. Bye.